Woo! I'm pumped. Hope you guys are doing well. It's Sunday night. Here on the West Coast, it's 4:35, right? So I'm in Los Angeles, and we're about to get into a live stream. We're going to be mixing a song, which is a really cool song. So you guys are going to be hyped on this one. I think you're really going to dig it. And we're going to be in Logic Pro 11, which is even more, you can dig it. If you use Logic Pro for production or recording or anything, I'm going to show you how I use it for mixing. All right, so it's going to be a really fun live stream. And also, I'm just pretty hyped right now because I just got done working out and I'm like all sweaty and shit, first of all. But second of all, I just finished another song creation challenge. And 30 people started the challenge and only 3 people made it through the challenge. But I'm super hyped because I helped 3 people make a full song from start to finish. And that was really cool. And also I came out with a cool song at the end of it. And I'll show you a little sneak preview of that song in this live stream as well, which will be really fun. But you guys, as always, if you have any questions at all, you have a little chat right here, right? It's like a live chat. And I think it's, I don't know. It's so hard to tell. Like, is it over here or is it over here? I don't know. It's one or the other. It's left or right of the screen here. And at the bottom, if you want to support the channel, you know, you get something out of it. You're like, man, I just got a super dope tip. I never thought of that. That's amazing. Or you get a laugh or you get an aha moment or anything like that. There's a little like money symbol at the bottom and you can click that. You could super chat the channel, you know, pop me $5, buy me a coffee, buy me a beer, whatever. If you get something out of it. If you don't get anything out of it, why are you even here? All right. So let's get into it. Without further ado, what's up, Scott? How are you, man? Say what's up if you're in the house. Don't be a creep. Don't be a mouth breather. Sit in the back in the corner like, hey, yeah, man, I'm going to watch you mix, bro. Just fucking say hi. Don't be weird, man. It's already weird to talk to a camera and like not have actual people here. It's always a strange thing to do, live streams. But here's the song. Here's the session. And I'm going to do something new. Like this is very, very new for these live streams because typically I'm setting up the session from stems and I'm bringing it into Pro Tools because I prefer to mix and master in Pro Tools and audio edit and all that stuff in Pro Tools. But today, because I figured, hey, a lot of people that come through the channel, they're on the mailing list, they use Logic Pro. And I wanted to show them like, hey, this is what a client sent me. They sent me the full session. So this is Maudlin Strangers. I've mixed their stuff before. I've done a full masterclass on their stuff where I literally mix and master a whole song from start to finish and talk about everything I'm doing. So if you guys want that, let me know. Because that's like, there's so many details in that. And I probably will never go into that kind of detail ever again. But let's hear the song. I did bring in the mix reference bounce, just to make sure that the reference bounce matched the Logic Pro session, right? Very, very important. So I'm going to just grab all these and we'll unmute these and we'll give this a listen. This is the full session. Make sure that I'm going out so you guys can hear it, of course. And let's check it out. It's called Under My Skin from Maudlin Strangers. And this is their rough mix, okay?
Prayed to God, I've never prayed to God before. I made my bed, so now I'm sleeping on the floor. Say your goodbyes, settle your debts. You belong to this world now, get used to it. You're so heavy with your heartbeat, keep it buried under your sleeve. Then there's nothing left to lose without it. You're so hollowed out and shapeless, like a shadow with a face that's always staring back at you. Haunted by the little things you say when you're under my skin. time and time again. Make yourself at home, but excuse the mess. And I wonder, why's it gotta be like this? Believing everything you say, but feeling every other way. You're so heavy with your heartbeat, keep it buried under your sleeve. Then there's nothing left to lose without it. You're so hollowed out and shapeless, like a shadow with a face that's always in the room with you. Haunted by the little things you say when you're under my skin. Color fading, you twisted your knife one too many times, but I let you under my skin. Skin.
Pretty dope. I love it. I think it's super dope. So yeah, really what I hear for the most part on first listen, I'm like, oh, it's sounding pretty good. Balanced. Vocals are a little too out front. Everything's a little too chunky. I like mid-range, but I still want it to be open, right? It doesn't feel open enough to me. It feels kind of still in the demo phase. Guitars need to really like, you know, like they need to jump through. So yeah, this is what we're going to do. We're going to start with some drums here, and I'm going to take all my drums. You notice actually when I was playing it, I'm just coloring everything, and I'll go through that real quick with you guys, just because I think that that's pretty important to moving around quickly in a session. Hot pink for vocals. Yellow for bass, red for guitars, this kind of brown for drums. And then for any instruments, I usually do this like super blue color here, okay? And that's it, really. Effects here, we have like an effect thing. I don't know what I'm going to color the effects. It doesn't really matter. I can leave them like that. And these effects as well. And sometimes just kind of put everything together is cool, right? Like put the effects together. I probably put the effects, swells and, you know, reverse crashes and things like that. A door unlocking, you know what I mean? I'll put all those up by the drums. That's pretty typical for me. And I'll go like maybe the effects above the drums or like right below the drums. Right below the drums, right below the bass pretty much. So that's usually somewhere around there, you know, because effects I think of as kind of drum elements as well, you know. Just how I think. My brain thinks like that. I don't know why. Don't ask me. All right, so let's color the track headers as well. So this is a synth bass here. Let's definitely get that yellow as well. And if we click on the background, we can, as we have the tracks highlighted, we can also color these track headers, which is really going to help me kind of visually see my way around the session. Okay. Guitars, all these guitars here. Select these, select the background, go red, and organ, let's click there, select the background, and let's go with that blue. And then the rest of these guitars, we can kind of fold these down as well. Looks like he's got track stacks here. I don't really like track stacks. I'll probably break all those open and flatten them. But right now I'm just going through and making sure that all my colors, I can see right away. Red is electric guitars, like I know guitars, right? Echo Boy, anything that's going to be an effect, I usually do like this teal kind of color. I don't know, that's teal, right? And then we have guitar verse hits, and we're gonna grab those. We're gonna make those, that's right, red, yay. Okay, and then the lead vocals here, we're gonna go to all the vocals, and we're going to make those hot pink, and the background vocals, all hot pink. Just gonna grab all of these. Looks like that's the rest of them. And now I have like a really easy, quick visualization of what's going on. I typically like to organize my session as well so that I have all the vocals kind of in the middle of the session. The guitars can be above the vocals. If I have any instruments, I put instruments below the vocals, because I think typically in the way that I mix, I go from top down, I go drums, bass, and then I put vocals in. So that's typically how I think. So I'm gonna go like take all this up here, and we'll go bada bing. So now I can like mix and visually see everything how I like to work. And that's it. That's like brown for drums. And then I can mix those drums, get them banging. And then I can throw in the bass and get the bass pocketed and get it really nice and going with the drums. And then I'm throwing the vocals in, and I'm trying to get the vocals to sound really good. And then I'm going to, everything else is secondary. It's all secondary. Like guitars don't compete. They don't, you know, go before the vocals. Instruments don't go before the vocals. We need basically the drums and bass as our foundation. It's also sort of the spatial placement, like it's going to set up our stage, and then everything else gets wrapped around that. Okay, very, very simple. So I'm going to put instruments above the guitars. Actually, I think the guitars are pretty prevalent in this. Let's put the instruments at the bottom because it looks like there's only an organ. Yeah, just an organ. It's mainly guitars. So guitar, bass, drums, organ, some effects. It's pretty basic. It's not too crazy here. All right, so let's start to listen to the drums and see what we're working with. But before I do that, I'm going to see what's going on with what he has on his mix. So I see like, okay, a couple things. I see EQ, I see CLA2A, EQ, noise gates, Valhalla room on the drum room. But I see all of these also, or some of these, yeah, that hats going to this drum sample bus. And this has like a little like warming effect with a 2K boost. Kind of interesting, all right? So let's bypass that in and out. And also, before I get started with the drums, I'm going to mute everything else, right? And the reason I do that is because that way I can solo the drums out and I can mess around with just the drums and just hear the drums without having to worry about muting, unmuting, soloing, etc. Because that's like really fucking annoying when you're starting to mix a record, right? So what's up with y'all? Hope you guys are doing well. Ryan, what's up, man? Hey, congrats on finishing a song in the Song Creation Challenge. Good job, man. Song sounding good. What else we got? Tell us something about your mouse. How does this ball work? It's a trackball, just a ball goes in here, spinning around. It's got 4 clicks. It's got this little wheel here for zooming, right? So you can zoom in and out, up and down, etc.
I'm pumped.
Whoa, what happened? Hope you got. I don't know. All of a sudden, my voice is coming through the YouTube in a delay. But yeah, trackball, pretty basic. What's up, man? How you doing? How you doing? It's good to see some of y'all. Okay, so now we got drums. So what do the drums sound like by themselves? they're pretty chunky. They need some love and some refinement. But before I start to refine the drums, because you can hear like the inside kick mic sounds like it could be an outside kick mic. Obviously it's not, because you can hear all the bleed on the outside. But the outside kick mic sounds like super compressed and like weird. Doesn't sound that great, you know? It's almost like, is it even needed, right? Yeah, so this stuff, you can gate these, you know, you can really get punchy with that by just simply gating them. You know, if you want to do some cleanup on the drums, we go to like, I really like the Slate Digital, just using the Steven Slate trigger. And I use this as a gate on my drums. It's a good gate. So turn the gate on and take the mix all the way down, because we're not mixing in samples, because that's a different part of this whole processor. But we're just using the gate, so we turn the gate on. And then I'm just going to attack pretty quick, and we'll just set the release here on the gate. Sounds like the compressor was attacking too fast on this kick drum, which makes it like sound like tick, 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 right? Instead of like do, 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 because the kick, the transient isn't coming through on the kick. Let's check the outside here. Yeah, so I might let that gate really let that gate open, right? So let's set the release longer. And it's okay as long as we just don't get the snare in. Nah, not even worth gating. I'm not even going to worry about it. Doesn't matter. Not doing it for me. It's making it sound a little too weird. Okay, we have this EQ here. I don't think this is a good idea. Reason I don't think this is a good idea is because when you use an EQ on, you have two mics on one source, right? And then you're using an EQ, not a good one, a Logic stock EQ, on the second microphone. You're going to shift the phase. It's going to give you weird phasing, shifting. Just to prove that point, let's turn that EQ on and off and listen to the phase and the punch and the low end and low mid. Right? Way better without the EQ. It's like night and day. So no plug in there. Don't need it. If you want to do this, you could try on this one, try gating this one on the outside, just so you don't have so much of it. And let's hear it without any EQ. Yeah, not much I can do with that kick. It's really not recorded very well. All right, now here's a snare top. Yeah, everything sounds like it's over compressed. It's the compressor is attacking too fast on the drums. So I don't like that. I don't like how it's like the attack is like barely coming through and then the compressor is grabbing it. So just poorly tracked, poorly recorded. I'm not into that. And that's probably why he has samples layered in. So I'm just going to treat this as like kind of an overall vibe and sound of the drum kit, right? But I'm not going to like go in and get so micro with it. lots of rumbling going on with the kick drum and the snare drum and everything. It looks like these are being bussed to a devil lock bus. I'm going to bypass that. I don't think that that's adding to it. It's probably just making it louder, to be honest with you. Right? I think that's fine. I don't really like the devil lock. I am going to open up my drum mix bus on this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all the drums and go to the mixer first because I want to make sure they're all going to the same bus. Yeah, so all these are going to bus 40. And bus 40 is going to be over here. And it looks like I already have the live drum sum. I'm going to call this live, or just drum mix really. Drum mix bus, and I'm going to open up my chain on it and let's see what we can do here. So my chain is going to be sort of inspired by Jason Joshua's chain. So it's the NLS bus thing, and I have like a couple Pro Q3s here. I don't really need that one, I don't think, but I may need this one. We'll put it on natural phase. That mimics the phase of like an actual analog EQ. All right, and I think probably around this like 500 area is where we're gonna have some issues. So I'm gonna look around there. Now we're hearing everything right there. So we're hearing all the samples as well and any other return. So we have to be careful with that because I don't want to hear all that when I'm trying to mix just the live drums. So we need to go and figure out what's not going to that bus. So this is bus 5, this kick is, the drum sample. So there's drum samples here, and I think all of these need to just be muted for now. And actually, I think I'm going to take all these through the same bus as well because I want them to all be cohesive together. I don't see any reason why these would go through a different bus. I think you're going to run into phase issues if you do that kind of shit. So let's go to bus 40, or drum mix bus, I think hopefully is what it's labeled now. See, this is another thing. When you open up someone else's session, you're like dealing with their routing. You're like, what is going on here? You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck, dude? You know, and for them, it's like, makes total sense. You're like, yeah, dude, this is pretty simple. I've produced this and I mixed this, or, you know, I did my thing on it. So I know where everything's going and I know what all these mean. But for the most part, this is just confusing for me and just kind of slows me down, right? So I want to make sure that I know exactly what's going on. I'm going to go to bus 40, which I don't even see bus 40 here. Here we go, bus 40, drum mix bus. And then this is going to be all of these drums now hitting this EQ. All right, and there's a little reverb there. So we want to make sure all of our routing is making sense. So from the drum mix bus, I want to go out this, and I want to go to a new bus, and I'll go to like drum, 41 that's right next to 40. And we're going to call this the drum master bus, okay? So 41, where did it just make that? So random. Like send it to 41 and it goes over here. All right, cool. Another thing, just so I can make sure I know exactly where everything is, I'm going to color all my drum buses these brown colors that the drums are, right? So drum master. And then I'm going to open up my strip for this. And it's very important that you have, strips and stuff, because I'm not trying to open all these plugins at once. Like, that would take me fucking forever, right? So it wouldn't even make sense. So there you go. Now I got them all opened right away. I'm going to set my UAD Shadow Hills. I'm going to also take from the drum master bus, I'm going to go to an all drum bus. Okay. And the all drum bus is basically so I can have all my drums going to one spot, and that reverb return that you're hearing, that needs to go to the all drums bus, right? So I can have everything ending up at the last bus for the drums. So that's going to be bus 42. Where did that go? This is so confusing how it's like making buses and like putting them in random spots. Thanks, Logic. In Logic Pro 11, your buses will go into random places when you make them. Doesn't make any fucking sense. All right, so this is going to be the all drum bus. So all drums. Okay. Now the all drums I want to take to a master augs. Okay. So the master augs bus would be, you know, just pick the next one. Doesn't matter. Bus 43. Where did it make it? Let's find it. Chasing down buses and augses. Where are we at? 43. There we go. Why are you putting it over there? So confusing. Master augs. Now, Master Augs, I'm going to color it this neon green so that I know how to find it right away, right? And then the Master Augs, because he has on the stereo out, he has the God Particle and Pro Q, Pro L2. I'm just going to drag those over just for the sake of like hearing it how they originally had it. I will change all of this. This is not something I'm just going to keep, right? It doesn't look like the Pro L is doing anything anyway. It's like maybe catching peaks. Nah, yeah, it's just like set at 0. It's not doing anything at all. You can literally bypass that. Turn it off, no plugin. The God Particle is your limiter and your output, right? I usually set that at -0.3, -0.5, so that when you convert to MP3, you make your bounce, etc., you have a little bit of headroom to deal with any aliasing. And I believe you can also set the short-term LUFS and peak meter instead of RMS and peak, which is really nice for the ins and outs. So you can actually see LUFS instead of measuring RMS and peak here. And you can also do oversampling. You can do 2, 4, 8 times. Anything over 8 times oversampling is a complete waste of resources. Trust me, I've talked to the guys that make plugins, right? I talked to Ryan Schwab about this, actually. He's the engineer dude that He's awesome. I hung out with him last time he came to LA and took him out and stuff. But he was telling me about oversampling and talking about the gold clip and orange clip and all that, and telling me like oversampling is like anything over 8 times is just a waste of CPU and resources. So just so you guys know. And oversampling is so that it pushes the filter up so that any aliasing that happens with distortion, harmonics, etc. gets pushed up way above the audible range, and then it gets resampled back down. So we try to avoid artifacts in aliasing and distortion. Okay. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. If you guys like this stuff, please share the show. Party on, Garth. That's funny. It's not that funny because, like, I don't know. I've heard that too many times. I think people got to be a little bit more original. When I had long hair, I got what's his name? Commissioner Gordon, right? Got that a lot. I also got who's the engineer that, like, worked with Foo Fighters and stuff and Nirvana? Butch Vig. Got Butch Vig a lot, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, y'all got to come up with some more original shit. Good try, Biffin Bridge. Biffin, Beavis and Butthead. What's the make of your mouse? Why does everyone want to know about the mouse? It's just a fucking trackball. Y'all ever seen a trackball? It's a Kensington trackball. Okay? Very, very normal in most studios. I don't know where y'all been. Thanks for what you're doing and teaching. Much appreciated. Can you make yourself a little smaller, please, so I could see more of the screen? Yeah, for sure. Good call, my friend. Good call. All right. What else? Y'all got any other questions? Let me know in the chat. Spice. We got Spice Productions. Sounds like a porn production place. Yo, it's Spice Productions. Actually, probably modern porn is a little bit more modern with the music, I guess. So yeah, he's overcompensating with this 113%. Like, listen to this in and out. Damn, just going through my drum mix and master bus sounds way better, right? Like, it's like like it's punchy and it's thick now. So Pro Q 3 doing this, bada bam, bada bing. I like to push the mid-range a little bit. That's what like an API would usually do. And I just love that for the drums. And then we're going to go to the drum master bus. God damn it. I wish these auxes weren't all over the place. It's driving me fucking nuts. But anyway, R bass, adding harmonics, UAD, Shadow Hills. Here's where we get fun, right? Optical, I'm going to go to discrete on this. And that way I can use the attack, and I'm going to go pretty slow on the attack so we can get a little punchier. Discrete ratio, we'll mess with this. We'll also mess with the threshold and the gain and all that, but I'm going to set it right around 1 dB or so. And I want this on the iron setting. It's a little bit punchier. Great. You can also check the ratio on it and see if you can get a little bit more punch, a little bit more whatever out of the ratio. So right now we're at what, 3-to-1? Yeah, we can go 2-to-1 or even go less, or you can go 4-to-1. A lot of the times when you take ratio up or down, you get a difference in the actual knee, right, of the compression. So you go maybe soft from soft to like a harder knee. So you got to be careful with ratio and understand what it's doing and listen for it. And you can simply do that by cranking the threshold a little bit and messing with the ratio and see what happens. Like listen to what happens. Yeah, I love the 2-to-1 on this. It sounds so good. Always sounds really great. All right, so I like that. And then we have a gate, just gating out noise and stuff from whatever's coming through all this stuff. We have the black box analog design. We can try the saturation on. This might get really beefy. All right, and as you start bringing things up, you start bringing harmonics up, you start realizing what the problem is at the source. And that's really, really important. You need to hear that to know what the fuck the problem is. And a lot of people that say, like, don't mix into a master bus, I'm like, why? You're mixing against yourself. It makes no sense to me. Like, sure, you can balance before you start putting things on your master bus and you start making buses and mix buses or whatever, subgroups, things like that. But it doesn't make any sense, because if it's going to end up at that compression and all those, that's going to end up there, then you're going to hear all that shit. You're going to hear all the, you know, and it's going to fold over on itself. And then you're going to get that surprise at the very end after you've worked your ass off on your mix. And then you're going to have to go back on the mix anyway. So I just like to do that right away. Drum sample kick. Let's hear this. There's obvious issues with the drum sample kick and the actual kicks, right? So I'm going to just treat these all as one. You have kick inside, outside. I'm going to grab these. I'm going to take these down. This is from the actual kit. And then there's samples here, right? So I want to make sure that all of these are making sense together, and they're not. They're simply not. Like, there's certain hits that are like phasing and flamming, and it just sounds, it doesn't sound good, right? You can see that there's phase problems with them. So you can use certain things to fix this. I'm going to use the Sound Radix stuff, and I'll show you. It's hard because you really should do this like in like chunks, but yeah, we're just going to figure it out. All right. So here's the inside, outside, and the sample kick, just those together. Right? It sounds fucking crazy. It's like boom, 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 boom. Like what? And that's really where your solid foundation is. So let's hear where what the sample kick is doing. Also, let's take this EQ off. This is crazy. There's way too much low end that's being boosted into this. We're getting our low end from the harmonics and stuff, right? We're not getting it from EQing the shit out of stuff. And then this is also sending to a reverb. I don't know if I want the kick, especially a sample kick, sending to a reverb, but let's bypass it in and out. See. See, the sample kick sounds nice, right? Like it sounds good, but it doesn't sound so good when you put the other kicks in. All right, that sounds like shit, man. So here's how I'm gonna fix it. All right, so I have this sample kick, right? And I'm gonna go take this. And let's just take this kick right here, this kick sample, right? And let's get it really dialed in. Like this will be the kick, right? Right here. And we're gonna sample this motherfucker. All right. So here we're going to take this and we're going to go control apostrophe. We're going to loop around that. And I'm going to go through, actually I'm not going to do that because then it'll print all that stuff. So let's make sure we bypass the stuff we have going on the drums, right? And it's okay if it gets a little bit of love from the master bus. I'm okay with that. It's not a big deal. God particle, right? So that's our kick sample. All right, and let's bounce in place. Nah, let's offline bounce, like straight up bounce it. Okay, we're gonna call this under my skin kick sample. All right, and then we're gonna just put this on the desktop for now, just to make it simple. Bloop. All right, and now we got that kick sample, and now so we can get this nice and tight. We want this to play with the drums, right? We don't want this to be like whatever the fuck this programmed kick is that's like doing flamming and shit. So now what we'll do is we'll go to the drum replacement software, right? So whatever drum replacement software you want to use. Drumagog, I use the Trigger 2, the Slate stuff. And now I can go into browser, right? And make sure that I find this drum samples folder. So let's, maybe I can right click this, no? Okay, so drum samples, I'm going to find it in my Finder. I know this is a lot, y'all, but check it out. Drum samples. And we're looking for the Slate Digital folder, right? So just find the drum samples folder. This should be like obvious, right? Like it should like find it right away. Like where are you at? Oh, okay. I just saw SD3. East, west, yeah, whatever, dude. All right, drum samples, come on, baby. Come on. Like I would think that like Apple and Mac could figure out like when you search for drum samples, you want to find a folder called drum samples. Like yeah, very simple. All right, so let me see. Drum samples. Let's go Trigger 2 Deluxe. So it's a little bit more easy to find, right? Trigger 2 Deluxe. All right. So see, now we have our folders. All right. Now where are these? Now we got to go to show in enclosing folder. And now we got our drum samples. Why can't you find that when I search for drum samples? Apple? Good God. All right. Now we go to the desktop and we take this kick and we drag it into that folder. Right? Bloop, bloop, bloop. Pew. Okay. Sick. Now, with a little refresh, bloop. Where are we? Yeah, here we go. Refresh. All right. And still not there. Where are you, dude? You're killing me, man. Let's go. Let's try and reinitiate trigger 2 here. Boop, 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 boop. Drum samples. Still nothing, huh? Maybe that was the wrong folder. Deluxe presets. Let's try this one. Whoa. Okay, so we got a bunch of these motherfuckers. All right, this is weird. This is getting weird. Trigger 2. Sorry, y'all. This will make sense, I promise. Trigger. Drum samples. Seems like you should find that folder like right away when you search for it. I know this isn't very fun, huh? Anyway, if I can figure out where the folder is, it'll be really, really easy. Let me see here. Let's go back. All right, drum samples, SSD, platinum. Okay, trigger 2 kicks. Let's look for that. It's gonna give me a million different folders for it. All right. Like, what the fuck, man? All right, show in and closing folder. We're gonna look at all of them. We're gonna look at all of them. Okay, so not in here, right? I don't see any drum samples. Drum samples, don't see them in there, right? So weird. Here we go. Here's one. Did I put it in there? There it is right there, right? I'm gonna just copy it. There we go. There's another one. Paste it. I'm just gonna put it in all the folders that I find. All right, that should have done it. Let's see. Refresh. Drum samples. Okay, UMS kick. Perfect. Now drag this to this guy, right? And now go to triggering. And now we have this kick, which will fire off that sample every time that kick hits, but perfectly in phase and in detail with it. And this is going to just like make more sense than like that shit. Bada bam. Now you have that perfectly hitting every time this kick is hitting, right? So if I go like this, play it. Bada bam. No flamming, no weirdness, no bullshit. All right, so let's bounce that in place. And we're going to call this kick sample replace. I don't know. Selected track, no. New track. And we're going to the source, we're going to leave it. And we're good. Okay, bam. Now check it out. Now we got our kick sample perfectly aligned with the other kicks. We can bypass the trigger. We're all good. We can turn on our drum processing again. And we can take this drum sample kick and make sure it's going out bus 40 as well. And you can put the bus to send or whatever on there. I don't care, whatever. If you want to do that. I think he had like a little reverb on it or something. And then the kick sample replace here. You have the outside and the kick sample replace. Oops, I didn't need that on that. I need it on this. Okay, 40. So now we can just mute this guy. And let's listen to all these kicks together. And let's go turn on our other drum processing as well. Drum master bus. And it's here. Is that not 10 times better? Like, no flamming, no weirdness, no bullshit, right? So, yeah, that's the key to it all right there. You need to make sure your drums are in phase. What's up, my man? Good to see you. Hopefully you guys just got what I just did there and you went like, oh, fuck, that's way better. Hopefully you understand that. Like, if you're not getting that, I don't know how to help you. Like, that is like everything. Just getting shit in phase is everything. You know, no EQ, no bullshit, no compression, nothing. Sending it through my buses and getting it in phase and lining it up. And now you have a drum kit that sounds 10 times better. Right? I don't know how that even gets better. So, okay, so let's make it a little bit better, right? So because the drums here, these kicks, let's mute these kicks and just play it with the sample. Sounds pretty damn good. I want to get these just tighter. Like, it's not tight enough sounding. It sounds floppy and weird. That's magic right there. That is like straight magic. All right, now let's do the transient master and kill the sustain a little bit on the outside kick as well. And you notice it just cleans up all the low end rumble weirdness and bullshit. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take these down. Also, that outside kick, I think what he was trying to do is get more crack out of the snare bleed from this. I'm going to do that on the snare, but I'm going to mess around with just a little bit of EQ on this because I think this can sound a lot better. It has like some weird shit in it. And I'll show you what I'm hearing that is like offensive to me. It's offending my ears. I don't want to be offended here. Okay, guys. All right, so this is my kick drum, my out. When I filter like that, I'm just listening for where does the kick disappear? Like where are you just not even hearing the kick at all? It's like right around there, right? That crossover point. So on this crossover point, 2900, 3K, right? We're going to do a shelf. I'm just going to shelf it down and I'm going to turn down the high end on that. And I'm going to go a little bit lower because you do have a slope here and you can mess around with the quality here, right? But I'm going to pretty much turn it down. I'm going to use natural phase here and just bada bam. You know, shelving is the best way to do this kind of stuff because you don't get any phase shifting or any distortion from phase when you do it this way. If you filter, you're going to introduce phase shifting and distortion and all that. But Pro Q3 is really, really good about that stuff. So investing in a high quality EQ is well worth it. All right, let's hear this. That's beautiful. Now check this out. The reason I'm doing that is because I know that when I blend the inside and the kick drum sample, all of these together is going to make a really nice, tight, punchy, full-bodied kick. Isn't it funny? I accidentally unmuted the drum sample kick that he had and how bad that sounded. Like, holy shit, that was so off. Like the phase on it and like how floppy and it was just fucked up, man. You know, no offense to these guys. These guys are great producers, but holy shit, that was bad. I'm going to hide that track so I never do that again because that was just terrible. All right. Just pissed me off right there, actually. I was like, no way is it that bad. All right, so let's check this out now. I'm pretty happy with that. That drum tone sounds pretty damn good now. Now drum sample fill. Let's get this snare because we have the room and we have the drum sample hats. Where's the other snare? Where's the actual snare? We have top and bottom probably. So we have top, bottom snare. I will spend so much time on drums, by the way, like hours on drums just to make sure that the drums are completely rock solid in a record. The drums are everything, you guys. For this style of music, it's drums. Drums, bass, guitar. Obviously, vocals are the most important thing, but if you don't get those things right around the vocal, you don't have a record with this style of music. It just doesn't work. It sounds sloppy and demo-y. So we're going to make this sound like, you know, $1 million record. This is weird. Let's get rid of that. I don't know what the intro is there. You notice you got the same thing going on, right? Like you have this like flamming and you have these samples all like just fucked up. I don't know what is going on here, but take that sample out. Right, so do the same thing, right? I'm not going to do that right now on this live because I know you guys just saw me do that and took forever and it's annoying, but I'm going to do that same thing. I'm going to sample that snare. I'm going to bring it into the trigger 2. I'm going to resample it every time that snare hits because that is just absolutely unacceptable. We want that shit to be happening, you know what I mean? Okay, so let's say that we really like the drums, which we don't, you know, they're not really there, but I'm not going to sit here for, 2.5 hours on a live stream showing you guys how I really, really chisel down drums because for now, that's not that important, right? Like I'll go back and I'll do all that stuff, but let's get the bass going and I'll show you how I can kind of get that rocking into the drums here. Also, you have this drum sample loop. I think what I'm going to end up having to do is take all of his drum samples and all of his stuff that he's doing on top of stuff and really lock it in because there's no way this stuff is locked in, you know, not after hearing what I just heard with those samples. So I really got to like go in and get the phase right. So make sure you do that in the production phase, you guys. Don't hire a mixing engineer to do all this stuff for you. It's a pain in the ass, and then I can't be like creative with the mix and, you know, really just like spend all my time making the mix really sound amazing. So I'm going to bring this up here. This is the bass. And we will mute these guys. We don't want these on yet. And we'll pop the bass in, and let's talk about getting this bass right and what I would do with this bass, really. It sounds pretty cool. I like that there's that harmonic in there. It's like a synth octavator or something. Super cool bass sound. So to kind of grit this up a little bit, I want to use, I know this sounds crazy, but the Schwab Digital orange clip on this, just like a little touch of this might be really cool. Yeah, it sounds pretty cool. I don't think I'll use that just because I want to hit it with a compression thing. The Pulsar, I've just been like really digging this right now. And that's kind of what happens. I get like into certain plugins and I use them for certain things. And I just beat the shit out of them. But this this is really dope. And I think this will be really cool on bass. There's probably even a preset in here for bass, but I'm not going to... I'm not going to look into that. I'm just going to set this all the way and let's start to compress the bass more. Cool, and that just kind of like gets it a little bit more tight and glued and gives it also a little bit more harmonic, and we're also getting level from it, obviously. So another thing you can try is taking the bass through the drum mix bus. I always think that that's a good thing to try out. You never know what might work really cool. This might glue it all together, or it might be just too much. Okay, that's cool. I like it. I think it sounds really good. It sounds nice and glued, but I feel like they are competing a little bit. So I'm going to take the drum kick sample and I'm going to send out of here. I'm going to go to a bus. It doesn't matter what it is. And I'm going to go bus 44, let's say. And we're going to call this side chain trigger for bass. Right, and we're going to mute that and kill that track because all we really want is the bus 44. You can also not do this. I don't know why I'm doing this. I think it's because I'm like so used to mixing in Pro Tools. It's a lot easier in Logic, and I forget that. So I didn't need to do any of that, okay? What I wanted to do... It's so funny. I'm like such a Pro Tools mixer. Okay, so what I wanted to do was come in here and just hit it with some like track spacer or whatever. It doesn't really matter. You could use Oak Sound Sooth 2, which I think sounds a little bit better. It's a little bit more sophisticated. You can do oversampling, higher quality, etc. You can use, Kickstart You can use anything that's going to take it down in volume or whatever. But I'm going to use this because this is going to just duck for me. So I'm going to pick on the sidechain the kick sample replace, which is going to be an audio channel. So we're going to kick sample replace. We'll find that. A B C D D D D D D D D D D kick sample replace. Where are you? This is what I don't like, is like searching through menus. All right, so now I'm going to set this really fast on the attack, and I'm going to set the release maybe like around here to start. And I can go back in and just focus on the bottom and let it, I like crossover on the bass to be around like 300 or so. 350. That's where I find like the growl in the bass and stuff. So I don't want to be ducking the growl of the bass, because that's really where the note is. The, you know, and we don't want it going. We don't want that. That's going to sound like super EDM and weird and affected. So what I'm going to do is just duck this and give it a little love. Right, lets that kick drum really just punch through, and it ducks a little bit of that subby stuff, which will also give us headroom on the master. I am taking that out as well because I do kind of like the sub frequencies on the notes that it does hit on that bass. I think that's actually kind of cool, so I'm going to leave that. If you do want to give this a little bit more fuzz, because I kind of feel like a little fuzz would be awesome on this, you might want to try some distortion stuff. I would try things like, maybe one of my favorites would be like the UAD VSM3. Like, this is really cool on bass. And you can also make it so it's in the sides more. So that might be a fun thing to do. So start with like an MS master, which is a mid-side master bus setting, where you have the mid and you have the sides. And you can set this one to the low, and you can set this one maybe to like mids, or even low on this as well. And you can kind of get the distortion into the sides. So the low will keep the shape pretty low. This is a filter. That's what it does. We have a drive here. We have a level. We have total harmonic distortion mix. And then same thing over here. And we have that in the sides. So you can see we're switched to the sides here. So this might make the bass wider and a little bit more distorted and gritty, which is kind of fun. And I know exactly how I like this. I use this all the time. So I'll set it like right around here to start. Really thick. Like it's almost too thick. I would actually like maybe at the end of this just give it some like, you know, fab filter, multi-band compression sort of thing. So that every time it like goes over a certain amount, or even like a limiter, you can limit it. But like the Pro MB, you can go down here and you could say, all right, so I'm just going to give this a little bit when it hits these like one note things. The range, I'll set it to just like 3 dB or so, somewhere around there. And then just have it when it crosses the threshold on certain notes, it just takes down that rumble. Right, that kind of evens it out. I like that. And you can limit it as well. Bass limited is always a great idea. I always like limited bass. On this, let's move all of this over to this other bass part. And I think this other bass part needs to be a little bit more intense. So maybe it hits like a bigger distortion or saturation or something. I'm not really sure yet, but it has like those dot, 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 you know, parts. This right here. And let's focus in on the transition from this bass to the next bass. Yeah, so that's a little bit different. This needs to be more like it's probably supporting the guitars, where the guitars are going da-na-na-na, and this is going like it's holding the low part of those guitars. So we just kind of like set this for now. I would say try and back off the track spacer because these need to be like hits, right? We're not too concerned with it ducking the kick drum. Right? So let's take this like way down. Maybe it's just giving a little bit of space here. Yeah, we're good there anyway because there is no kick, right? So sounds great. How about LA3A on guitars? Always good, you know? I'm not like a super fan of LA3A on guitars. I like LA3A on bass. I think it sounds really good on bass. I think it sounds good on vocals, actually. LA3A is an LA2A, just a solid state LA2A without the tubes. And it's also faster than an LA2A. So you're getting like a solid state feel. You're not getting the tubes, so you're not getting harmonic saturation and spit and stuff on the top. LA3A also has a little bit more mid-range push, so it pushes the mid-range. So yeah, it can be great on guitars, but I typically, yeah, I mean, sure, put it on guitars. It depends on the guitar though, you know? Are you doing like super distorted power chord guitars? Are you doing funk guitars? I think it sounds good on like funk guitars. You know, like that, you know, that kind of stuff, because it's fast and it's spanky and it's, you know, pushes things forward and stuff. But it doesn't have any tubes. It doesn't give like any grit or any harmonic structure. Well, much of a harmonic structure. So LA3A is pretty smooth. It's a smooth ass compressor. Hey, thanks, dude. Yeah, it's getting there. So we just kind of take this one at a time. Obviously, like I said, I'm going to go through and I need to fix all the drums and all the doubles and stacks on the drums and stuff. But I want to get the tonality dialed in on these parts. Another thing, I have this synth bass thing. I don't think that this is actually going to work because I don't think that there's a sample in here, but I did get stems from the client, so I probably need to drop this. Right, so there's nothing on this because I don't think the sampler... When you save a Logic session and you send it to a mixing engineer, make sure you save it with all sampler audio and sample, you know, any samples you have in your sampler. It's very important that you do that so that the session comes over. But lucky for me, I did get everything from the client because I always do, because I've done this a couple times. You know what I mean? It's been a couple mixes. So I'm going to find that and I'm going to pop it into the session and we will make a new track. It's going to be an audio track and it's going to go through the drum mix bus. All right, so let's go to the drum mix bus. I think it's on 40, right? Yep, bada bam. And then we will color this yellow. Color me yellow, color me bad. And then this is going to be synth bass retro game something or other, right? So synth bass, bada bam. Boop, boop, and we're good, right? So very, very simple. Lock it in. Make sure the timing's good. It starts at the beginning of the session. Should be good there. And let's hear that. And then that way we can mute this and, you know, take it off pretty much. And then also hide it. Bada bam. Let's hear it. Hey, are you guys liking this though? You getting something out of this? If you are, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you throw a thumbs up. Make sure you actually are active and proactive. Like, I'm not trying to be on YouTube to be on YouTube. I'm not a YouTuber. I don't make any money off YouTube. I make my money off of making music, mixing music, mastering music, producing records, sync licensing. So I really, really appreciate it if you guys understand I'm trying to build a community. I'm not trying to, like, you know, get a million likes or anything. You know what I'm saying? So the more you guys participate and you share the shit, we can get more people like you guys that are actually on this stream right now. So please, if you like it, share it. Throw a thumbs up, drop a comment on the video, you know. If you really want to support the channel and you want me to do more live streams and build the community faster and all that and bring you guys more people into all this and more music and more records and all that, you can hit the little, I don't know where it's at, on the left or the right, there's the chat. And at the bottom of the chat, there's a little money symbol, okay? It's you can do super chats and stuff. And you can throw $5 my way, $10 my way, whatever you feel like is, you know, this is worth to you. Is this valuable to you? Tip your bartender, you know what I'm saying? All right. Of course you don't have to. This is free game for you guys, but you know, it is nice to know that people give a shit. All right. Now, synth bass, let's pop it in. Nah, that's shit. That's just like, it's like a brown note, like it's almost unnecessary. So let's try and make it wider. First of all, let's do what we did here. We'll grab this guy and we'll spread it. And if that fails us, then let's try the PSP. Like, that's cool. It's giving it a little bit of color or whatever, but I'm going to go to the Waves PS spreader deal. I think this is always going to be good for that. PS spread. And we'll just kind of give this a spread on the topper banger. Yeah, start somewhere around here. And we'll go to the frequency. We'll go up to like, I don't know. We'll figure it out. Spread. We don't need that much spread. Maybe a little bit here. All right, much better. And just kind of let it blossom. I'm going to turn it down too, because that's a lot. A lot of low end. That's a lot of low end. So much low end. when you talk about things, they seem so obvious. Yes. I know, dude. It sucks. You know why it sucks? Kirox is because when you have done something for so long, you forget 15 years ago. You forget 20 years ago. You forget like what you were thinking about stuff and like how you were thinking about it and the questions you had just 5 years ago. You know what I mean? So just know, dude, like I don't know everything. I don't claim to know everything. I'm learning every day. I learn something new every day. That's why I love this shit, because there's so much to learn in music production, mixing, mastering, audio recording. It's constantly changing and you're constantly learning and growing. And no matter what, like this is life, y'all. I've been thinking about this a lot lately. A lot of people want to like set it and forget it with their lives, right? They're like, oh, and yeah, man, you set up your business, you get your job, and then you don't have to try at it, you know, and you just like, you have your job. Like, it's not how it fucking works. Your fitness, your health, whatever, you have to work on it every single day. The relationships you have, you got a girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, you have to work on that shit every day. You know, you want to get better at music. You can't like be like, oh, I'm good at music. I'm already good. No, you have to fucking work at it every day. You have to get on these live streams, ask questions. You have to learn. You have to grow every day. You have to make music and try new things every fucking day. You know, that's why I'm like so into plugins and new technology, because I know that there's like a new thing. It's a new sound, a new tone, a new shift, a new distortion, saturation, a new EQ, whatever. It's like I'm learning and I'm growing and I'm processing that shit every day. And if it's just like a 1% difference or 3% difference, you know, all that stuff over time, it builds you up. And as time goes on, because time just keeps going, right? Like you are not going to freeze time and get all your skills up and then no one's going to catch you. That's not how it fucking works. Time just keeps going. So you have to do more and more and more and more than anybody else is willing to do. If you want to be in music, this is the most competitive, I swear to God, more competitive than anything else. You guys are like, no, I'm competing with myself. Bro. I just love music. Oh, I fucking hate that. I hate when people talk like that. It's like, you just love music, then go play music by yourself. Don't be on YouTube learning all this stuff. Like, just go fucking play music. Just go hang out. Sing Kumbaya around the fire, dude. Like, that's not what this is. You want to get all technical about compressors and shit because you just love music? You're on the wrong fucking channel. You're in the wrong world, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not talking directly to you. I'm talking in general. Like, people talk about this stuff like it should just be art and it's fine if you just like it. And it is. It's fine if you just like it. But if you're trying to become a musician for a living, a recording artist, a mixing engineer, a music producer for a living or anywhere near a living, this is going to take bam, 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 hustle, learn, grow, apply, action. You're like fucking bleeding from your ears and you're like, just got to take 30 minutes of a break on my ears and I'm going to come back to it. I'm going to learn some new shit. I'm going to process it. I'm going to make a new song. You have to keep going. You have to grow every day. That's not beyond me at all. I feel like I'm just getting started. I try to live by this mentality that this is my very first song I'm ever mixing. You know what I mean? When I mix a song, I take way too long on it. And my clients fucking love them for it because they're so patient. They're like, no, I know Brad's going to bring me the sauce, you know? It's going to take him forever because I'm literally going to treat it like it's the very first song I've ever mixed. So when I'm sitting here like doing this, I'm like doing it. I'm putting my all into this shit like it's my song. You know what I mean? And that takes a long time because, you know, the artist may have been like, yeah, it's fine. Like the flaming kick and stuff, like, it's fine, bro. Like, that's what we did. That's the production, you know, you don't need to fix anything, you know, like, no, I'm going to fix any problem I hear 100%. If there's something wrong with the production, I'm going to tell the artist, bro, your production here is weird. You know, you need to fix that. It's not blowing up the way you want it to blow up. You might want to track a couple more guitars. You know, try some of this, try that. Like, you don't rush this shit. This shit takes time, and it's going to continue to take time. It's just the way it is, man. It's always going to be like this. I'm telling you, like, you have to, if you're not going to fucking do it, like, for real and the right way and the way you know that you can do it, don't fucking do it at all. Go do something else. Straight up. This is not the world for you. You will never make a record that you're truly proud of if you just fucking shit out music. You're going to make a record that you're like, that's a good song. I could have done a lot better. That's a good song. I put that out and it, man, I didn't do my best, man. Man, I should have taken a few more takes on that vocal. I should have retracked that guitar. I should have spent more time on understanding what the fuck this song was about. You know? You have to spend time on this shit, dude. And I'm not saying you have to go and spend like eight days on a mix. I'm saying you have to continually rinse and repeat. Like, learn something and grow from every single song you work on. And continually experiment and continually learn and grow and learn new techniques and try new things, you know? This is art, but it's also very, very much science. You know, there's a big scientific part of this. Anyway, I digress. I'm going to keep going with this. And actually, I really only have like 8 more minutes on the stream here before I got to do something else. But do you guys have any questions at all that I can answer for you before I get off this, right? Like, I'm going to just like drop everything in real quick just to see like if this is completely off base. But, you know, let's hear it. Let's hear it just like from the beginning. And then I'll pop it against the reference so we can kind of A-B the drums that I did.
I prayed to God. I've never prayed to God before. I made my bed, so now I'm sleeping on the floor. I prayed to God. I've never prayed to God before. I made my bed, so now I'm sleeping.
So yeah, there's other things that we don't have in the mix yet, but the drums to me sound so much tighter. Listen to the reference, listen to the kick and snare drum on this. Not paying attention to the reverb in the room and all that stuff that I don't have in the mix yet, but pay attention to like the actual playing and the like where the kick is hitting and stuff in the reference compared to where we have this mix on just the drum. Just tighter, much tighter, right? And obviously I want to get that room sound and I want to get that sparkle that he has with the brightness and stuff. I'll get to that. I'm not trying to get like super in detail with that, but the lock on the actual groove is way fucking better. It just feels better. It doesn't feel all like it feels really lead-footed on the reference, and now it sounds like a professional drummer's fucking rocking this shit, you know? So that'll be fun because when we start with that, then I can like really make, you know, all that reverb in the room and all that stuff. That's gonna be really sick. It's gonna be really, really fun. Yeah. I mean, if you guys got any last questions, I'm here to answer them. I see in the chat, I have issues for mixing low tunes, bass, and guitar metal. Yeah, low end is really tough, man. First of all, I want to say, like, your speakers and your playback system are going to really, it's going to always be hard to hear low end, especially if your room is not perfectly tuned. I recommend just using headphones if you don't have a really good system with a good room. I'm in a room that I've tuned. I have a degree in sound. I am I've tuned 50 different studio rooms in my lifetime. And, I know the process very well. I know what a standing wave is. I know what a modal ringing problem is. I know what decay time is, the reverb time, the RT60 time in the room. I know how to tune those things out. I know how to bass trap. I know how to diffuse. I know how to, really tune in on a room. I've trained my ears for years and years. So low end is the hardest thing. And I'm also using speakers that are incredible. Like these are just Dutch and Dutch 8C monitors that go down to 20 hertz all the way up to 20K, and they do it very, very well. It's always going to be tough to do the low end. And I think that's what you're asking is like, hey, I have issues with this because I'm doing like this low stuff. You should definitely hire someone once you get to a certain point. I highly recommend it. Spice Productions, man, in the house. Bodying them, dude. You're bodying them. What we got here? I really appreciate the approach. Open mind, specific talk. This is what I'm missing. Yeah, dude. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I think the industry is fucked. There's no industry right now. The music industry is not an industry right now. It is a bunch of random people. It's all over the place. It's fragmented, and that's very good and very bad. It's good for creators right now and independent artists and creators right now, but it's very, very bad for the fact that nobody is together, which means that any technology or any threat to the industry is going to just completely dominate it because nobody's going to stop it. People are not together. You get what I'm saying? You have unions and writers guilds. You have SAG-AFTRA for actors, Screen Actors Guild, right? What do you have for producers? What do you have for audio engineers? Audio engineering society, like there's no actual union. There's no actual, degree program. It's not a doctor, lawyer sort of thing. You don't have to pass a bar. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's very wide open. It's very much the wild, wild west. And it fits me because I'm an entrepreneur and I love it. I fucking love it. The track is super dope. Maudlin Strangers is really dope. I've mixed 2 of their records so far. You can check them out. This one's called Under My Skin. If you guys want, I can play you the last Maudlin Strangers record that I mixed. So you guys can kind of get an idea of where it'll probably end up, like sonically. I don't know. You guys let me know. It's up to you. I also did a full masterclass on this song. It's called Don't Worry, I'm Fine. Really, really dope track. I really like it. I think you guys should check it out if you're into that style of music. And it's like a rock hybrid, cross-genre kind of stuff. My speakers cost $17,000, somewhere around there with taxes and everything. They're special edition ones. They're the Dutch and Dutch 8C white on white. They're dope. I fucking love them. And just so you know, like it took me 25 plus years to get them. What do you got? What else? I don't know why, but I noticed the reference in the reference a similar problem that I usually have in mixes. The treble sounds very strange, as if it has artifacts. Yeah, you're talking about their reference when I play it, right? I hear that too. And what a lot of that is when people start boosting and using EQs like the Logic Stock Pro, EQs, they're just not very good. They just don't sound good. Like they sound cheap and phasey and tinny. That's one thing. But it's a whole culmination of things. It's not just one thing. It's a lot of things. Dialing in your ear to tone of not only the plugins and what they do when you're using them to boost, but the guitar, the preamp, the thing you're going into. If you're using like a little Focusrite, 2x2 or whatever, those things sound like absolute shit. They sound like hell. They phase out and do some weird filtering stuff to everything. It's always weird. But yeah, y'all, that's what I got for you guys today. I hope you guys have a good night and happy Sunday. Have a great week. If you're not in the song creation challenge that starts tomorrow with me, you guys are fucking missing out. I don't know why you're not in there. It's stupid. Don't be idiots. Like, literally, like, soak up the game. Last song creation challenge, just so you guys know what that is, it's like $29 to get all the formula and everything, all the videos that I made about producing a song from beginning to end, including mixing and mastering, the whole thing, right? So you get access to all of that, but then you get access to all the challenges I do, and they're guided challenges every month. Last one I just did, it's 14 days, and it's live streams pretty much every single day of me making a song with you, step by step, creating a song. So stupid not to be in that. If you're not in that, it's just because you're lazy. I'm going to be straight up with y'all. Because everyone's got $29 to learn this shit and to go through the process. And if you are not going to do like a guided thing with someone to make a record like that's done it, you know, probably more than you have, and maybe more, I don't know. I don't know who's on the stream, but, you know, I have a platinum record, Grammy, Oscar, Emmy nominated work, you know. I have movies that I've worked on that have done over $1 billion in box office sales. The Lego movie, 22 Jump Street, Thor Ragnarok. I mean, we're talking about like multiple billions of dollars in box office sales alone. And those are all movies and TV shows and commercials and projects that I've worked on over the last 20 years. So if you guys want more game on like production, songwriting, arranging records, sync licensing stuff, if that's your niche and that's what you want to get into, like actual industry, like where you are like, dude, I want to make records that I can sell and sync and make money, right? And I'm not going to teach you how to go get clients for mixing and mastering. I think that kind of stuff like comes when you are just get really good at it. You know what I mean? But it's stupid to not take advantage of that kind of stuff. Like, if you have someone going, hey man, I do these monthly challenges where I sit with you and live stream everything and show you exactly what I do step by step, and you guys are like, oh, $29, and you start chewing on your tongue and shit, like, fuck off. You guys, no, I just want to watch live streams on YouTube for free. Like, it's a different game. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about different things. If artists or producers that like I look up to did that sort of thing and live stream with me every day, I'd pay thousands of dollars for that, because I know what that's worth. I know that if I got one tip or trick out of that, it would be worth thousands of dollars, especially where I'm at right now. I just know it. I know how it works because I've been in this game for a while. It's been going on 16 years making a living in music, and I can't say I regret any of the hard shit that I had to do to get here. I really, really fucking love it. I have a great life, and I love making music and working on music. And I work on shit projects, like stuff that I'm like, this is terrible. And I work on awesome projects where I'm like, this is the top of the top. Like, this can win a Grammy. Like, I get excited about it. The songs that I'm writing right now, I'm really excited about. Do you guys want to hear, before I leave, like, do you want to hear the song I did on the last song creation challenge? Like the one I just finished for that song creation challenge in 2 weeks. Here's the link if you guys want to pick that up and you want to join the challenge tomorrow. But I started the challenge tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you are in, you're in, you know what I'm saying? And it's well worth it. I don't make any money off this, you guys. I'm not sitting here like, go get my $29 thing, bro. I'm going to make so much money. Like, I don't make any fucking money off this. $0, okay? If I break even, I'm super happy. I'm like, yes, I broke even. But I'm here to help people, and also I'm trying to find people that I can work with, like, that are better, you know? Like, I'm like out there, like, putting the feelers out there. And this is the way I do it. Yeah, you guys want to hear the track? I'll just play you the track, regardless of whether you want to hear it or not. I'm just gonna fucking play it for you. It's like, I got it done in the time period and through the challenge, right? Like, it still has lots of work to be done on it, but I think it came out pretty good. Here, I'll play it for you. And this is like, you know, through the challenge, live streaming this whole thing, showing you guys exactly what I'm doing the whole time. That's what this is, okay? So I'll show you. Beep, beep, boop, beep, beep, boop, boop.
Lucky you. Lucky you. In a land of triumph. Pulling through, my man. It's all of their heart. And you know, it's all a part of playing through the pain. And you know, surely you and them are not the same. Lucky you.
That's it. That's the vibe. That's producing the song from beginning to end, writing it, recording it, mixing it, mastering it, everything in 2 weeks, guiding the whole thing, live streams every day on exactly what I'm doing, and you working on a song with me, like straight up. So if you guys want to get into that, I dropped the link in the chat. If it starts tomorrow, the next challenge, and I do 1 or 2 a month. So you want to get better at this shit, don't talk about it. Fucking do something about it. All right? And I appreciate you guys coming through, like, for real. It's been awesome just to, like, have a lot of you guys just, like, show up over and over again and hopefully get a lot out of this stuff. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Like, make sure you're subscribed. I'm going to keep dropping content, doing live streams, all that good stuff. It's really important that you're subscribed and you're paying attention because I'm going to just keep trying to help you guys out. All right? Peace out. Happy Sunday, man. Mans and women's.